By the time you're hearing this, crypto is doing exactly what I said it would. Not because I'm a tech and cryptocurrency expert queen, but because I understand how wealth moves. And here's the truth no one's saying loud enough: cryptocurrency isn't dead, it's maturing. This isn't about hype, it's about money, it's self evolving and deciding if you want to be part of that shift. This is Women Growing Wealth, and I'm Tamar Hermes. In this episode, I'm breaking down how I went from crypto fear to clarity, what I learned from visionary investor Raoul Pal, and why high-earning women can't afford to sit this one out. Let's talk about what's real, what's noise, and how to invest in the future without losing our mind. Let's talk about the thing no one seems to fully understand, but everyone has an opinion on: cryptocurrency. You've probably heard a million takes. It's dead. It's a scam. It's the future. It's just digital monopoly money. Honestly, I used to be afraid of crypto too. Not just skeptical, but downright afraid. It felt overwhelming, techy, like I had a whole new language I needed to learn just not to get burned. So I did what a lot of smart women do when something feels too big. I paused, I watched, and then I learned. I educated myself. I found the right voices. I waited for the noise to calm down. And when I did, I realized something: that I wanted to be a part of the crypto game. This is after I made assessments, and I want you to make the same assessments because this is not a crypto pitch. But I do believe that cryptocurrency is relevant for women growing wealth. Let me start with a story. I'm going to take you back to a moment that sealed the deal for me. It was Crypto Week in Miami. The city was buzzing with energy, entrepreneurs, futurists, finance folks, and, let's be honest, some of really aggressive sneakers. I was at a dinner just absorbing the energy of it all, and I spotted him. Raoul Pal, legendary macro investor, former hedge fund manager at Goldman Sachs, and the founder of Real Vision, one of the clearest thinkers in both traditional finance and digital assets. And here he was, just casually eating dinner with his wife, and guess what? No one went up to him, but I did. Because I knew that he represented what I wanted to thank him for, which was being a voice of wisdom for so many listeners on his platform, Real Vision. Raoul isn't just a finance guy, he's a visionary. He coined something I think everyone should understand, called the Everything Code. Now, before I get into what the Everything Code is, let's zoom out for a minute. Here's the truth. Cryptocurrency is confusing because it's new. And like anything new, especially in money, it gets packaged with hype, fear, and misinformation. And here's what I realized. You don't have to understand every single thing about crypto. You just have to understand why it matters. And for me, that turning point came when I saw crypto not as a get-rich-quick scheme, but as a response to the cracks in our financial system. Now, let me bring you back to Raoul's framework of what he calls the Everything Code. This is the idea that four massive forces are shaping all markets. The first one is technology. Innovation is moving exponentially, as we know. It's creating massive new wealth, but also widening inequality. The second is demographics. As populations are aging, fewer people are working, and more people are drawing from systems like Social Security, which is creating a huge strain on the economy. The third piece is debt. The U.S. is trillions in debt, and we can't tax our way out of it. The math simply doesn't work. Now, the fourth is the key. It's liquidity. And what causes governments to move? Printing more money over and over again. It's a never-ending cycle. When liquidity comes into the system, what happens? Asset prices rise, stocks go up, real estate goes up, and yes, crypto goes up, especially Bitcoin, because it has a fixed supply. It's basically the opposite of what governments are doing with money. So while everyone's arguing about whether crypto is real, the smartest investors are asking a different question. How do I position myself to benefit from the next wave of liquidity? This was a question I had to ask myself because the idea of putting money on a third-party server to hold my cryptocurrency made me extremely nervous. But then the government introduced Bitcoin ETFs, and this allowed me to buy Bitcoin on the stock exchange, and it can be invested just like any other stock on the market. Likewise, it shows up on your ledger as an investment in Schwab or Fidelity, wherever you exchange investments. The Bitcoin ETF is regulated by the SEC. You don't need to own a crypto wallet or deal with passwords or tech headaches or hackers. Again, you can invest it just like a stock. Simple, familiar, and clean. It gives you an exposure to the asset and may have every benefit as the liquidity floods the system. So if you're a high-earning woman who's already investing in real estate or in the market, the Bitcoin ETF might be your safe entry point into the digital assets space. I know so many women who sit on the sideline of this conversation because it feels like they're too late now, it's still too risky, or it's just not for them. But here's what I want to say. You don't have to be an expert. Again, you don't have to be early. You just have to be informed, because crypto isn't just about digital coins. It's about the evolution of money. And again, you need to define your criteria and decide if it's right for you. But if money is changing, you have to ask yourself what side of the conversation you want to be on. To stay grounded, I follow a handful of smart macro thinkers, economists, and people who really know how to do in-depth analysis, like Raoul Pal. And I definitely avoid anyone who's hyping coins without explaining the fundamentals, like altcoins, any crypto selling lifestyle people over literacy, anyone who makes you feel silly for asking questions if you're still unsure about crypto. And I get it, because I was too, but I'm not anymore because I did the work. I stayed curious, I found voices I trust, and if Raoul Pal is right and this $3 trillion cryptocurrency industry is going to be worth $100 trillion by 2030, it's worth taking an in-depth analysis to see if you want a piece of that pie. And let's face it, women deserve more than one piece of that pie. If you're ready to start understanding and not panicking about what's happening in our financial world, be sure to hit subscribe to the Women Growing Wealth podcast, and make sure that if you're listening, that you tap in wherever you hear my voice right now.